not even what we're really even doing here. We are analyzing just from the trailers and some other information what the films have contained and the message that they're selling to the public. So here is our review ahead of time, our breakdown of the propaganda from the leak we have. That's pretty much the whole film, but there's been some few changes, we're told, and more, and from the trailer, and again, the last two films. So here it is, and then don't worry if you're a radio listener. In the next hour or so, we'll post it at Infowars.com. It's not on the web yet. I'm going to premiere it here. The audio for radio listeners, the video for people watching on Prisonplanet.tv. And then we're going to upload it to our big official YouTube channel. In the next hour, it will be live at Infowars.com. And throughout the weekend, you'll be able to go there and watch this. Then we're going to come back after this is over and get into some other news I haven't hit yet concerning Fast and Furious. And this is looking like Obama's Waterloo. So stay with us. Here is my breakdown. Warning, there are spoilers of the new Batman film. One of the most anticipated movies in a long time is about to come out. The Dark Knight Rises. Get ready, because we are going to leak, spoil, and decode the new Batman film that's coming out. We're going to get into the meaning behind the meaning, the secrets behind the secrets. But first, understand, this is one of the most successful propaganda franchises out there selling tyranny. For all of you that say it's just a movie, for more than 50 years, the Department of Defense has paid and financed for most major action films. They all have a unified propaganda message selling you on the idea that you're powerless and that you can't protect yourself. Only shadowy groups, by violating your rights and liberties, can keep you safe. Throughout the Batman franchise, any vigilantes other than Batman are powerless, pathetic, fat, stupid, or psychopathic. To understand the conclusion of the Dark Knight series, we first have to go back to the beginning. In Batman Begins, a secret society known as the League of Shadows, led by Ra's al Ghul, played by Liam Neeson, seeks to put a poisonous psychotropic drug in the water supply to drive Gotham, the archetypal New York, into total insanity. Then he will bring order out of the chaos. And as all informed people know, governments have been fluoridating water supplies for more than 60 years, causing brain damage and cancer. So we see here in the first installment a revelation of the method, or the power structure, showing you how they operate. That there are secret societies that manipulate for good and bad. Bruce Wayne, the aristocrat, the banker, the globalist, has his secretive system. And then there's the evil outlanders trying to come in and take over. In part 2, Batman, the Dark Knight, we're introduced to the Joker. Now let's analyze the underlying messages here. He is a nonconformist, a libertarian type who makes his own clothes and burns money.
Nothing. No matches on prints, DNA, dental. Clothing is custom, no labels.
He doesn't go along with the mainline consumerist corporate culture. And so he's got to be a murdering psychopath who enjoys blowing up hospitals, bridges, ships, and killing police officers. But our hero, the rich banker industrialist Bruce Wayne, have developed a system to hack into cell phones and use them to create a sonar system that can give them a three-dimensional view of what's happening by using Defense Department technology they were developing to hack into all the cell phones and use them as audio microphone systems. They're able to save the city because they violate everyone's rights and spy on them without warrants. So again, it aids and abets and gives comfort to criminal elements in the NSA who on record are spying on the American people and using all of our appliances, from smart meters to computers to smartphones, to spy on us. All of it is pro-tyranny propaganda. We now move from part 2 to part 3, The Dark Knight Rises. So let's start decoding The Dark Knight Rises. Number 1, look at the name, The Dark Knight Rises. And we're told that he's willing to give it all up.
You've given them everything.
Not everything. Not yet.
Oh, you've already given these people so much. I haven't given everything. So he's this Christ figure, this dark Christ who is fighting the evil secret society led by Bane, who is coming to destroy Babylon, the beautiful city. Here's a few juicy spoilers. Batman gets his back broken in a fight with Bane. At the end, as Bane is dying, we learn that he's a Darth Vader character who can't survive without the mask, which is the recurring cyborg archetype that humanity can't live without machines. Who is Bane? He's a symbolic demon, a destroyer, a symbol of the Hegelian dialectic, order out of chaos. To the conscious mind, these symbols don't register. To the subconscious, they are clear commands, just like you're a computer. The power of Hollywood, the power of images to program the mind is not debated. And the Pentagon and Madison Avenue know that. Remember back in 1975, when for more than 2 years, the beaches were almost empty in the United States and areas of Europe and Australia because people were so scared that a giant shark was going to eat them? Psychological warfare chiefs certainly paid attention to that. Even though on average, less than 5 people die a year from great white shark attacks worldwide, people would not go in the water and were demanding shark patrols and more lifeguards for a non-existent threat. And that's what these movies do, not just these Batman films. Every one of these films has terrorists blowing up major cities constantly to create the psychological illusion that there's big sharks out there that want to eat you, and there's terrorists under every table that want to attack you and your family. And you notice at the end of Jaws, the shark has been killed. He's been defeated, but still the beaches remained empty. You are being subconsciously programmed. When you go in one of these movies and just turn yourself over to it in suspended disbelief, you become a willing victim to have your mind literally programmed in that key fear state. Because when the mind is in that fear state, it is wide open to be reprogrammed. And now in the new film, we see the football game blown up. We see the police helpless if the state doesn't take every right we've got and turn our children against us and set up highway checkpoints and launch 30,000 armed drones and listen to our phone calls, then none of us are safe because the non-existent threat of Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda and Bane are going to get us. The key to understanding why the social engineers want males in an arrested development junior high mentality state is simple. Through thousands of films and video games, we are bombarded with the idea that threats always come in the form of a giant evil monster or terrorist who openly announces themselves, not through slow cultural death. And men are presented with an idea of Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Herculean figure, or somebody like Batman, defeating the enemy all by themselves because the public is powerless. That's why now when I talk to so many men, they say, oh, you're such a hero. You go out and confront politicians. You go out and, fight for freedom. I'm glad you're there. What do you mean? I'm just an average person like you. We're not fighting big green Martians from Mars. We're not fighting, shadowy groups like Bane, unless you talk about the private Federal Reserve that's hijacked this country. We're fighting the New World Order. We're fighting a corporate takeover system with regulations and red tape that doesn't announce itself as an enemy, but that just oozes in with bureaucracy to dominate and usurp our lives. We're fighting the UN and Agenda 21 and a federal government bought and paid for by foreign interest engaging in treason. When you're conscious or awake, aware, watching, When you don't suspend your disbelief, you see the programming, the manipulation, the hypnotic suggestions right there like it's written on the wall. But when you're unconscious, like the general population, you are wide open to be victimized by this programming. Hey, I like a good action adventure and movie as much as the next person. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a film if you're aware of the implanted images. But it's important that people become conscious of the manipulation that's going on. So please share this presentation with your friends and family and visit Infowars.com/Batman, where we've posted some other examples of brainwashing that are taking place in our culture. That's right, and we are going to post that video in the next hour at Infowars.com at that URL that we just mentioned. It's not up yet. We'll add some documentation, other film reviews that I've done. We're going to be showing a bunch of my film reviews tonight on the Nightly News, 7 o'clock Central at prisonplanet.tv. Now, again, foolish people out there will say, oh, it's just a movie. We showed documents during the video, if you're a radio listener, that show where foreign governments, the Pentagon, corporate interest all pay for even the script writing of these films. They pay to have things written into the script. They pay to have subliminals added. It's all there. And you're being bombarded. There's a reason the public, many people are like zombies. There's a reason people don't care about themselves. There's a reason, because the whole culture is telling you overtly you're trash and that death is good, and kill grandma and kill children up to age 3 and euthanize everybody. And they're teaching the kids that they're scum and that humans need to die and that we're hurting the earth. And then there's covert messages that we're scum and trash and garbage and that it's sexy and cool just to die. We're being programmed to turn off our survival instincts. We're having our human propulsion system deactivated. We're having our rudders, our compass removed. And so it's just a bunch of aimless people looking to the television, looking to the culture to give them guidance. I follow what you say. Why aren't I happy? And the system's like, do more of what I say. Take some Prozac. Mutilate your body. Take these drugs. Do all this. That will fulfill you. And then it doesn't fulfill you. And you think, oh my gosh, I better do more. But you're not even thinking. You're just subconsciously being programmed and following what they tell you to do. Grown men are like children, most of them, when I talk to them. Children. Women. I mean, look at the feminist revolution. Women act, on average, like complete pieces of meat. They're totally unhappy. They're running society now. I was down at UT yesterday shooting footage for another report we're going to air next week. And it was nothing but women. And then, who was it, Jacobson, or was it, no, Jacobson wasn't there. He was putting that piece together. It was Aaron, no, it was Rob Dew. One of them had read the statistic, and it was true. I was about to say it. They looked at me, and they said, I forget which one it was. We were walking across the parking lot from the Natural History Museum, and they said, yeah, because women pay back their student loans. It's just amazing when you realize all the programming and the deeper you get into it. And again, it's not that we don't want to empower women. It's not to empower you. Your new husband is the state. And he's going to abort your babies. He's going to inject you with cancer viruses. He's going to give you breast cancer. And he's going to chop your body up and sell your organs when you die. That's a loving husband, isn't it? It's nice to see men, your boys, falling apart. It's great. You're ruling the roost. As Hitler said, first you get the women, then you've got the children, so follow the men. And 80+% of advertising targets women. And not all women have succumbed to it. Men have turned in, on average, to just total jellyfish, arrested development, about age 12 mentally. Women are hyper tarts on average, but can't find fulfillment and are going completely insane. The police are out of control on average because the public's out of control. We are a immoral, degenerate, filthy, fallen society rotting. And we're not going to be able to turn that around without recognizing it. All of us. Recognizing good from evil. On the Fast and Furious, again, House Committee suspects a cover-up, no kidding, and they're still going to have the meeting with him, but they're saying they may compromise. That's terrible news. We need to bring criminals to justice, not set the precedent they can do whatever they want. More coming up, but I will be live on the radio this Sunday, 4 to 6. Be sure and join us.